Hello, everybody. How are you? Heading south on the 5 freeway here in California in the early morning hours of Saturday, and this video is going to be in our San Diego series. This is the 5 worst zoos in San Diego. The 5 worst zoos. I know it's a little upsetting. You'd think that all zoos would be centers of delight, but for me, these are no-goes. The first one is the Balcony Zoo. This is an interesting zoo because they only have animals that live on balconies in your apartment building. So you can go out on your apartment balcony to barbecue dinner, to relax, to read a book, to stretch out and perhaps get a suntan. But you will have to be able to live with the smell of monkeys, because the Balcony Zoo will have commandeered at least 50% of the balconies in your building and made them into zoo habitats and monkey habitats, iguanas, reptiles, and a few times they're going to put a elephant out there on the balcony, usually a mini elephant. And if you're a huge zoo lover, that might be good, but guys, the noise is overwhelming and the smell is even worse. I'm going to give that a no. I'd rather just be able to relax on my own balcony. The second one on our list is the Hoodie Zoo. Now, the Hoodie Zoo make all the animals in the zoo wear hoodies. Now, you'd say, well, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cute. Well, the thing is, it makes all of the monkeys look like that they're tech bros and that they're working on some kind of software. It makes some of the animals look like they're about to rob somebody. The other animals, sometimes it makes them look like they're out jogging. And animals don't jog. They just animals. When was the last time you saw a zebra say to you, "Okay, I'm going out for a jog. I'll be back." I'm just going to go out for a jog. I'll be right back. I've got my Fitbit on. I'm going to take a little jog. See what I mean? So the Hoodie Zoo is a no-go for me. Now, number 3, Airbrush Zoo. The Airbrush Zoo is right there on the near north side. It's very convenient to most of the city. But what they've done is airbrushed most of the animals, most of their flaws out. Well, guys, I when I see a fat monkey, it's just been sitting around picking fleas off of its body, I don't want them to airbrush that out, make him look like he's got abs. It takes away from the experience. You know, I've seen them where they find a few flaws on a giraffe's neck, that the giraffe pattern there, the distinct giraffe markings, they airbrush them down so where it's almost like a solid color. When was the last time you saw a solid color giraffe? It looks unnatural. You know, you see these snakes. Sometimes they airbrush the snake so that he's smiling. It looks like he's smiling. Oh, really? A smiling snake? That looks even creepier. If they're trying to make it less, less evil looking, less dangerous looking, they make it look worse. Now the snake is smiling at me before he bites me. I mean, no, guys, the Airbrush Zoo, that's a no-go. The fourth one is interesting. It's the Basketball Zoo. Now, what this zoo is doing, the zookeepers have determined that just based on the nature of zoos, the animals aren't getting enough exercise. They get in their areas, their pens, their cages, their habitats, and they sit around. Well, that's not how they do it out in the wild, right? Now, of course, you have different zoos that are not their traditional zoo. They're more like a safari action where you drive through and they're out in the plains, and that's cool. But not everybody has 4 million acres to work with. So a traditional zoo is always going to be with us. And in this case, they have trained the zoo animals to play basketball, because basketball can be played in a small area, in a contained space. You don't need a football field. You don't need a hockey rink. And it gives the animals some exercise. Some of them are really natural basketball players, okay? Some of them not so much. If you've ever tried to train a macaw how to dribble, it takes them a while to get their beak to dribble the basketball. If you've ever tried to get a snake to pass on a 3-on-2 break, it takes a little training. But what's good about most zookeepers and animal trainers is that they're very patient. They know how to work with animals. It's their gift. So the basketball zoo has worked very long and hard to train every animal in the zoo to do a 5-on-5, to play man-to-man, to play zone. And therefore they get out there, they wake up, they're not snoozing in the sun, in that San Diego sun, and they get out there and play some 3-on-3, 5-on-5, shirts versus skins, feathers versus fur. Okay? They even have trained the fish to play a form of water basketball. Okay, it sounds good. I kind of like the concept, but I honestly, I find it a little bit disconcerting to see animals playing basketball, right? To see a hippo, put it in his mouth, and then the way the hippo passes the ball, they kind of swish it around like you do some Alka-Seltzer, and then boo, they shoot it out. Well, when a hippo shoots a basketball out of its mouth, guys, it's coming out like 300 or 400 miles an hour, and there's been incidences where it misses its intended target and it hits a spectator. So there have been injuries down at the basketball zoo of hippos taking out customers, taking out viewers, taking out zoo attendees, and it's dangerous. So I don't think they have the method quite perfected. I see what they're trying to do, and I'm sure it helps some animals, but for now, for me, it's a no-go. That's a no-go. The next one on our list is the docket zoo. The docket zoo uses legal dockets to improve the animal's mental acuity, mental alertness. Because one of the problems with being an animal is you don't get a lot of practice communicating with words. There's a lot of grunting, a lot of animal sounds, and sometimes you just need to improve your linguistics, improve your vocabulary, and improve your legal skills. And just like an attorney's tools of the trade are the words and the logic, the docket zoo teaches the animals some basic words, some basic communication skills, and some basic legal skills, so that if you're a orangutan, for example, and you feel like you have a legal case against a tiger, or if you're a black bear and you feel like you want to take a gaggle of geese to court, then you can't always afford an attorney. And so if you can create a basic case and bring it before the zookeeper to make a judgment, and get it on the docket. That's all you really want to do, is get it on the docket and then rely on the training that they give you to bring it to fruition. Well, I don't think the animals have to, I don't think it's fair to the animals in a way that they have to bring a case before the zookeeper, get it on the docket. Why can't they just complain, make a complaint? Why doesn't the black bear just make a complaint against the gaggle of geese and say, hey man, these geese are keeping me up at night with their squawking. I can't barely hibernate. And then the zookeeper should be able to make a judgment based on that information. I don't think everything needs to go to court. That's a no for me, dog. Guys, those are, in my opinion, the 5 worst zoos in San Diego. Maybe you feel different. Let me know. Get on the Twitter, get on the YouTuber, leave a comment. And don't forget to share, and so everybody can get this information, because when we share together, the whole community grows at the same time.